Alright, today I have, I guess, a great mail day. Stuff that I've been waiting for has come in. A couple other things unexpectedly came in early, I guess. And this is the best background I can find in the moment. Now, why are you thinking I have Dallas? Because I finished the trading card set, but, you know, it's always one of those things. If you hadn't seen my previous videos on the Dallas trading cards or the MASH trading cards, you'll realize that there's multiple puzzles, and I want to finish off the puzzle cards, and it's very expensive to do so because once you have a set built, I guess you could buy another set and then hope you get some of the right cards, but you'd still be having to mix and match the cards that you need. And so I figured it would be an opportunity to buy some cards online because I found a good deal. I got 3 for the price of 1, essentially. So we'll get into that very, very shortly. I should have opened it before I started rolling the camera, and we'll get to that in just 1 second here. Hopefully I can rip this open. There we go. That's good. So I believe, yes, that's exactly what that is. So we'll get to that in just a second here. We have one perhaps autograph request, a little beat up in the mail there, but I think I sent multiple cards from Las Vegas, Nevada, and it's probably golf. That would be my guess here, and it is. So I said, I don't remember how many cards I sent, maybe 3. I try not to send 4, but this is Bob May, and it's not for the 1991 golf set because there are a few people who are just starting that, but I'm on the downward part of it. Jim Thorpe, not the deceased guy from a million years ago, but the golfer Jim Thorpe does not sign. But we have instead Bob May, and I know there's a dark card there, but Bob May signed this 2002, I think it is. It's early upper deck stuff there, so again, don't overpay on those cards. And then we have the Green Room Bob May. I think I had more cards, but I just chose 3, the Green Room. And then I have chosen Pin Seekers. That's one of the first Pin Seekers I have. I pulled a Pin Seekers out of a pack at a store, and somebody said, hey, that's a good one. And it would have been a good one if the guy had just kept playing golf. Also, if there hadn't been a lamination error, there was like a pinhole or something in a Pin Seekers. It had a damaged spot to it. So the card is worth $0, but that was supposedly my best card from that pack. Then we have something all the way from France. I should have put my French license plate in the background here, but didn't think about doing that. I have not opened this, but I got the idea from one of the Jabs brothers. You can figure out which one. I don't get any ideas from the certain one there, but this gave me an idea. And people are like, you know, Grail card, can't find. And then I just said, you know what, I'm just going to buy this from a seller in France and see how it goes. Takes a while to get here, and it actually did get here. Sometimes I have lost packages from France because the envelopes they use are paper thin, razor thin. But I'll get the tape off of here. Make sure nothing gets on these. I had the chance to buy a lot more of them. There are multiples. And, you know, but, you know, 3 or 4 little items end up being almost $20. You're like, oh my gosh, you know, I don't know how crazy the shipping can get if, so I have to kind of be very, very careful here. Hopefully he shipped the right ones here. But these are none other than, and these are the right cards. It took a long time to figure out. These are the ever sought after Panini MacGyver. So I have 1990, I think it's 96 or 98, Panini MacGyver. So there's a nice one there, you know. I just got all MacGyver shots there because the only ones you can find technically on eBay right now are the ones where they're just background scenes. And nobody wants to pay $10 for a background scene of a MacGyver sticker. No one. This is number 47, so there is a lot of them in the set. Made in Italy for Panini. By Panini, I don't know, and then it says some other stuff in there, but oops, I moved the camera here. But yeah, so that is number 47, hopefully you can see that, and there is number 1. I had to basically limit myself because I'm not saying overspending, but I could easily have spent $100, and I don't know whether it would have been tracked or not. This one is an earlier one, I guess, from MacGyver leaping off of a wall or looking down at something there. I can't remember. I think I recently saw that episode there. So there's that one, and this is sticker number 56. These are virtually mint. I mean, as mint as possible. Number 56. And we have 2 more shots, and this is one from, I think, the opening scene, where MacGyver slides out from underneath the car, or the Jeep or truck or whatever he's about ready to blow up there. There's kind of a shine on his shirt, so that's kind of in the picture there. But I think that's really cool one there. And this is number 138. And then this is MacGyver checking out, or it looks like somebody's, oh, there's a king or something with a hand on MacGyver's shoulder or something like that. And I didn't, again, the pictures were okay, so I didn't know exactly what was going on. I saw the arm there, and I thought maybe MacGyver wounded his shoulder, but there's just the traditional MacGyver, from, I think I'm going to have to really, really treasure these. In fact, what I might have to be doing, because I've been getting these free binders, I'm going to have to maybe start making a Panini binder for all my Panini stickers, because they're getting kind of up there. Not a lot of them, but I kind of want to differentiate those. And this seller was pretty reputable from what I understand, so I'm going to see if I can try to get some more from that particular seller. Now what we're going to do is we're going to open up the last package here, which I mentioned already, and this is Dallas trading cards. Now the thing is that these are around $5 a pack plus shipping, which works out to $10 or just over $10, maybe just under $10 a package. And I got 3 packs. From what I understand, is 3 packs here for the price of 1, so that was just under $10 for 3 packs. The seller only had 1 of these bundles, so I took it. And again, these packs are not very valuable. They're still very readily available from 1981. So if you want to build your set, or if you want to have like a combination set build. Now, of course, I didn't get the tape off of here before I started the camera, so we're going to have to take a time to rip this open. I have a sharp object, but it is not poking through. I do have Dallas labels or wrappers, and I don't remember if they were from previous packs or ones that just came with something, because sometimes you buy a set and they give you, a wrapper from that. The wrappers have no value other than the fact that somebody puts it with a set or they use it to rewrap cards. That's the only reason why some of these wrappers that probably should be thrown away just aren't. So let's just get this. This is halfway open. It's very, very insanely well packed. I will not be able to reuse any of that bubble wrap for anything, although I would like to. Let's get this out of here. There's a piece of cardboard at the bottom here, which I thought I had pulled out, but I guess it's taped onto the, oh my gosh. There we go. Now, I think these have 1 stick of gum. Bubble gum cards is what they call them. There's the Dallas. It's a very, very far flung from these particular images right here. It does not look anything like the crew there. Of course, that's JR. That's the father. Ellie. And then there's Patrick Ewing, or Bobby, and then there's his wife there, and then there's, I don't know, Sue Ellen and the young lady, Charlene would be in there as well. And let's just get this. Looks like an old, anyway. Alright, so we look at the 3 packs here, and then we look at the back. See what we've got here. You never know. That could have been resealed, but it looks like it probably hasn't been. There's kind of a roller mark there with the goop on there. It just got some weird corrosion there, so that could have been the bottom of a box, or the bottom of where I was sitting, who knows. In somebody's display, where have these been this whole time? So we'll start off, I guess, with the icky one right here, and see how that opens up. And again, some of these wrappers might rip. If you wanted to keep the wrappers there, you don't want to rip them, so you have to be very, you see, it's trying to rip right there. So you never know. But why would you open these and reseal these? There's no reason to. And there's wax on the back of the card here. Until I can find my missing binder, I'm not going to know which variations I need. Sorry, I bumped the camera again here. And try to get this one out of here. And if the gum looks like it's anything plausible or feasible, then we will give that a shot there. But it's more than likely stuck to the card here. So there's always a dud card. And you see there's a good one of Victoria Principal there, but the gum is stuck to actually the physical wrapper there, and I cannot get try to peel this off without. I like to save these for the binder cover, so that one has a big honking hole in it, and plus I dropped the card, so I think I dented the card. And there's a stick and a piece of gum, so there was extra gum there, and that is gooey. As that. And we're going to see how 1981 Dallas Donruss gum tastes. Now that's the puzzle back there. Again, if you need that one, that would be a good one to have, but it's damaged. There's the S in Dallas there, and there is Lever's Squirrel, or whatever that is, card number 20. And there's 2 versions of every single card. I'm not sure if there's more than 2 versions, but there's another puzzle piece. So they have the red back puzzles and the blue back, and no one tells you. You think you get that from the front, but that's not true. Actually, these cards have been damaged before, dented before. I have that one, but do I have that corner? Don't know. Gum was not terrible, actually. It's kind of like a little bitter, but other than that, and there's somebody's leg there or shoulder. There's Ellie right there, Miss Ellie. It's funny because she was in her mid-50s when she was supposed to be JR's mother, and there's no way that could physically happen because they were only like 6 years apart in real life. I think he was like in his late 40s or something crazy like that. Pack number 1. Pack number 2. I haven't had lunch yet, so that's a good opportunity to eat this gum. Get this one open here. Try not to. This one's coming apart much easier, much easier than the first one. Again, the icky pack, I should have probably not touched it. I'll not rip that there open. It's coming. So these may have come from different boxes. I don't know. Let's see. Let's get this out of here. And I don't know how the gum is. Now the first one had an extra sliver of it, and this one has one piece right there, and you can see where it's broken on there and it's stuck to the wrapper there. But the gum is not discolored at all. And the gum is actually coming off the card really easily, you know. So that is just amazing how the gum is coming off. Much better than Topps gum. Much. Donruss has a better gum product. It's almost kind of like, it's better than eating Bean Boozled. So if you're worried about Bean Boozled, eat Donruss gum from 1981. Or 82 or whenever it came out. Card number 34 of JR. He used to be a really good signer, autograph signer. This one has a wax stain on it, but that'll come right off. There's that one there, and then the back is just a plain piece. I think I need that one. Again, this one, and this one, part of JR. I believe this one is for the big JR puzzle. I think that's what that is. Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you the image there. There's the Ewings. More Ewings. Boring puzzle piece. 2 more cards here. I forgot to count how many cards there were in the first one there. Should be doing my double checking here. Back of the card here. That's creepy. That's probably the best card. Yeah, wouldn't that have been awesome to get JR to sign that card? That would be fun. If you don't know, Barbara Bell Geddes passed away many years ago, and her autograph is a lot of money. People are asking hundreds of dollars for it, and I got mine for like $8 on one of the cards there. And there are 0 currently Dallas trading cards for sale. There's this one here, last pack, and then there's the damage to the first one there, and virtually no damage to the second one. So we'll get this one here opened up here. And if you watch Junk Wax Hero, he supposedly ate some vintage gum recently. He had no problems with it. It just dissolved in his mouth from Topps. And I don't remember if it was in the 70s or what it was. It's not a big deal to eat old gum, but other people just like, oh, sadly, these cards are all destroyed. So I guess when Donruss folded them up or something, they folded up the cards and they're all ruined corners. I've never seen that in my life. All the corners are keeled over. So who knows? I wouldn't think this would be a rewrap. No idea. But anyway, let's get this off of here. Oh, it's really stuck. It's really, so the gum is on the other side. So they had issues with this one. I may not be able to get the card and the gum off of there. So let's just carefully. I can't be eating this gum here because it ripped a hole right through the wrapper, and essentially, you know, it's right there. And it's basically glued itself onto this card here. It's coming right off, but you know, I can't eat that because I wanted to, but it's got wrapper on there, and unless I could peel off the wrapper on there, it's not coming off. So that is unfortunately, well, here what we'll do is we'll eat the edges around the paper. No, eat the edges around the paper. I know people think I'm ridiculous, but you see what it did to that card there, and there might be some way to scrape that off of there, but I think it's, I'll just try and see, do the old fingernail scrape here. What's crazy is that is actually coming off. I might have a tiny bit of paper loss right there, but let's just do another couple of scrapes here. This gum is still sticky, if you can believe that. It's still sticky. no amount of whatever polishing cloths or whatever will get that cleaned off of there. But it is actually physically coming off. Sadly, I might need that one. Now let's get to the last cards here and try to fold over the corners here. Again, I'm not super worried about bent over corners, but there's JR, probably just before he's got, or maybe he got shot, I don't know. There's that card there. Charlene Tilton on the phone, or Lucy, I guess. Maybe that's Lucy. I haven't watched this in like a month. I lost where I was at and need to find the episode where I finished off. Just right before Bobby was getting, Bobby. Maybe that's why Bobby from Bobby the Hill, or King of the Hill, is named Bobby for Bobby Ewing. Bobby! Because he always says, hey Bobby! And so there are the two Ewing brothers. And then we have, again, a lot of these puzzle pieces are just ridiculously boring. There's practically the whole family right there. And a piece of somebody's sleeve there. And then the last card here is Lucy again. And we have that one, card number 1, and card number 1 has also Jock Ewing on the back of it. And again, it's got a nick here too. So very, very beat up there. But it was fun to rip those. I got some vintage gum out of it. There's another good piece there. You know, if you're worried about the aftertaste, get something to drink, you know. Not letting old good food go to waste. You know, I can't eat that. You know, I don't know what to throw that away because it is still active gum. You know, it's still actively doing stuff. You know, I mean, I can't say that, you know, eating the wrapper would kill me, but I don't necessarily want to have, you know, 1981 paper in my mouth. It probably wouldn't hurt or anything. But if anybody wanted the wrapper, I'm sorry, you can't have that one. And the other two I'm going to save for my binder, I think. You know, and it's still really gooey in there. I said gooey, but yeah, it's actually physically coming off on my fingers there. Anyway, that was a really great mail day. I got 4 MacGyver stickers. You know, again, I don't know these things exist, and you probably don't know they exist. They are super ridiculously hard to find, but I'm very, very happy to at least have 4, you know, what do you call it, first, you know, or action shots of the actual star instead of like some henchman being blown up or, you know, some car driving up to a palace. You know, very, very happy to have these. There's the other 2 if you didn't care. It was so hard to choose which ones I wanted. There was some I wanted more than these other ones, but I just gave up and said, just get me these because I don't have a good French-speaking ability. But very, very happy to have those. And hope everybody got something out of that. Thank you for watching.